maybe just do you normally do that?
Yeah, I do quite a bit. I don't know. It's just the grip tape when it gets fluffy or whatever. I don't like that. I'm a little OCD when it comes to that. So just like it very clean.
And this training staff carries a lighter for various purposes.
Yeah, I carry one, not on the ice, obviously, but in my stall. But yeah, the guys have one ready for me at all times.
Could be a secret weapon on base.
I don't think so.
What's Eddie was strengthly on? What did you like about what you guys were able to do in Game 1? And do you feel like there was kind of a formula in there for you to pull out here?
Yeah, I thought we played well. I thought we defended the rush well. They create a lot of chances off the rush, so I thought we handled that really well. I thought our D did a great job of denying lines and get them to go east-west. So I thought our D were really big in that, and then obviously we scored a couple of goals, 5-on-5, which were big.
Their D doesn't seem to be they're a mobile defense, but they don't have the size and the physicality that Vancouver does. You notice a difference to playing against those guys in the game?
Yeah, it's a different makeup of a team for sure. Vancouver has long, rangy, hard defensemen, and not that Dallas doesn't, but just a different style a little bit maybe. But obviously in their own way, very hard to play against. And yeah, just looking for tonight to keep it going.
Can you be as aggressive on the forecheck against guys like they have in the back end that can move the puck so well like you did against Vancouver?
That's how we're going to try and get to them and create zone time, right? Is by forechecking hard and creating turnovers. That's the recipe for every team going into any team that's good at breaking the puck out.
Game the other night, you guys had 3 shots in the first period, I think, and Feed the Board just said he has a formula of how to keep your guys' offense sort of in check and limited to that. What are you looking at of your start tonight that's maybe different from Game 1?
Yeah, just shoot the puck more, have the puck more, create better looks. I think we got another step to go when it comes to, creating offensive zone time and creating looks for ourselves. That certainly wasn't our best in Game 1, but again, they're a good team. They're experienced. They know how to limit those looks. Now it's up to us to look to create more.
When the other team only gets one penalty and it's too many men, is that as much about them playing and not having any infractions, or as much about you guys playing and not forcing them into any infractions?
I think it's a little bit of both. I think we can do a better job of holding onto pucks and creating some potential calls our way. On the other side, obviously, our power play is dangerous. It's good. We know that they're going to try and limit their penalties, right? So I think it's a little bit of both.
Whether it's tonight or later in the series, what can Adam Henry bring to you guys when he gets back in the lineup?
A lot of experience, very smart hockey player, really a guy that you can put in any position in our lineup, and he'll be adding a lot to our lineup. So we're looking forward to getting him back.
Leon, coming into the series, a lot more talk about how much more ready you guys were for this opportunity than you were 2 years ago. So how much does a win really kind of get the tone set for you?
Yeah, it's big, but it doesn't mean much if we don't follow it up tonight. So we're ready for it. We've learned a lot over the last couple of years. There's a lot of lessons along the way, and tonight it all starts at 0-0, and we're gonna look to win another hockey game.
Feeling like, opportunities like this to take a really strong lead, it's kind of this killer instinct. I imagine you try and sort of...
Yeah, absolutely. Those are the things that you try to learn from in the past maybe and do better. And like I said, we know they're going to be desperate, but for us, it's exciting to have the chance to go up 2-0 in this series and bring that back home to Edmonton. That being said, we know that's not going to be easy. They're going to bring their best tonight, and we're going to look to do the same.
We haven't talked to you since Connor's adventure there in overtime, penalty, and then the chance and all of that. Just maybe your thoughts on his night the other night and what it probably meant to him to have finished it off.
I'm sure it meant a lot. Yeah, it probably wasn't the nicest 4 minutes in his life, I'm assuming, sitting there. But, it happens. Unfortunate play, I thought. But that's what big-time players do, right? And then he gets stopped in first overtime, and, nice play by Bushi to set him up, and steps up in a big moment. That's just what he does.
He had a big back check the other day. Just how have you seen his game kind of evolve and develop and elevate in the playoffs?
Yeah, I think throughout the years you've seen it grow in a lot of ways. But I think, like you said, when playoffs comes, he kind of does everything. We know his offensive side is at an elite level, one of the best in the entire league, and then come playoffs, I mean, even throughout the regular season, but he's one of the best, he's one of the smartest defensive players too. He knows the right spot to be in. He's got a great stick, and he's hard on the puck. He's a big body, so he's hard to beat. So he raises it to another level, and I mean, obviously that's huge for our team.
Center right, Ryan.
Ryan, you're part of one of the best power plays the game has seen in quite some time. You're also right now part of a penalty killing unit that is just kind of out of this world. Is there more of a sense of pride for one than the other for you?
I don't know if there's more for one or the other, but definitely proud of both, and we have a huge sense of pride in both. It's something that we work on so much throughout the year. We talk about so much because in moments like this, we understand that in the postseason, it can be the difference maker in games and ultimately in series. So that's why we work on it and we harp on it so much throughout the season. So we want to make sure that come this time, it is sharp. And we know that on the PK side, we know that this is a good unit. They had some looks the other night. Stu made some big saves, obviously the one off the post too. So I think we can even dial it up another level here. But yeah, no, it's something that we take a ton of pride in, and we want to keep and continue to get better at.
Center left, Ryan Clark.
Looking at where this roster was when Ken Holland took over, it seems like there's maybe 4 or 5 guys who are left, and you're one of them. How would you describe what it's like to see this team be able to find the success you've had while going through multiple changes and having different looks with so much personnel?
Yeah, I think a lot of teams kind of go through personnel changes throughout the years, and I think it's about building a foundation and having similar type of players who want to achieve the same goal and want to play the same way come in so that you can slot them into different spots pretty seamlessly. So I think he's done a great job of that. But yeah, I mean, we've been building something over these past few years, and we want to continue to get better.
Center right, Bob.
Ryan, circling just back to the PK, first 13 games this year, there were 23 different sets of forwards on the penalty kill. There's basically been 3 sets. There's you with Derek Ryan, there's obviously Connor and Matthias Janmark together, Connor Brown, and then McLeod and Fogle. Does it matter that there's been specified guys to do it, but also pretty distinct pairings that have been deployed for the last 60 games?
I think that like anything, like a line, like a power play unit, I think you can build chemistry with guys on the PK. I even think for the D-men, I think they'd probably answer the same. Having the same pairings helps them. It's just little things. I think you'd be fine throwing different combinations together, but I do think it helps a little bit just with understanding who's going up ice, the different routes that certain guys run in zone too, and the pressure that they put on and where their stick is going to be. It's something that, especially if you play 50-plus games together, you're going to start to learn a lot about the way that they penalty kill. So I think it's like any other part of the game that you can start to build chemistry.
We'll take 2 more. Front left, Mark.
So they took 1 penalty last game, Dallas, and it was a bench penalty. They didn't take any hooking, no holding, high sticking, all that. Is that as much about how they're playing or as much about how you guys are playing?
Well, I think we did a good job of playing the way that we want to play, getting on the forecheck, holding on the pucks. I think any team we face at this point, they're not going to want to give us power plays. So they're going to be a little more aware of their stick positioning and not give any easy calls for the refs. So it's something that we understand and we're fine with. We want to. For us to build our game 5-on-5 is important for us. So on the other side of things, we can watch our sticks a little bit more and make sure that we're not giving a good power play unit too many opportunities.
Last one, center right, Daniel.
Ryan, heading into the series, there's a lot of talk about how much more confident, prepared you guys were for this series compared to 2 years ago against Colorado. How much does Game 1 kind of set you up maybe for success and give you that feeling that you guys are ready now?
Yeah, Game 1 is always an important game. We've been on the other side of it many times, and we understand that these guys have too. So it's obviously it's a race to 4, so you get one out of the way. It doesn't mean that it's going to be easy for the next 3, but we understand that these guys have pushed back in their first 2 series. We have to be prepared for that. We need to have our own energy, our own pushback to start tonight. But of course, anytime you can get a win at this point is important.
Things that need to be done. What stands out to you, when it comes to the difficult things that they're committed to?
The first thing I think about is just how they block shots. It's a lot of ice bags are put on the guys after games, and that takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of strength to get in front of pucks. Obviously, when you're not a goalie, you don't have the equipment that I got. So I would say just being able to get in front of those pucks, it helps my job a lot. It helps everyone a lot. We're able to front pucks, be able to get the puck out, get the clear. And then even when we don't get the clear, it's just how we go from there. We're always kind of on our toes, and I think we got a lot of chemistry going on. We're feeling really good, obviously. So it's really important for us to keep that going, though, and not getting away from the small details.
Where's the line between being willing to block shots and you wanting that versus guys screening you?
Yeah, again, we've gotten through a lot of experiences where that has happened, and we've talked it out. And we've gotten a good hold of things. At the same time, the game is so it's always. There's a lot of different moving parts, so sometimes they're going to have to get in the way to block a shot. Sometimes I'm going to have to be able to find a save even though that I'm screened. And obviously with this team, Dallas, they're a heavy team on screens and being able to get tips. So it's a really good challenge for all of us.
What's it like when Joe Pavelski's hanging around your net and he's maybe the best tipper to ever play the game?
Yeah.
What do you, as a goalie, what do you think about that?
I think it's a great challenge for me. He's obviously done an incredible job through his whole career being able to do that. I remember when he was in San Jose with Burns, they were always working on that, and it's obviously done him really good. Practice makes perfect, and it's a really good challenge for me to step my game up against a guy like that.
Do you have any chance on a tip from 3 feet away or 6 feet away, really?
Absolutely.
Is there something you can do to stop that puck?
There's a lot of things that I can do, yeah.
Do you have to assume that it's going to get tipped?
Sorry?
Do you have to assume that it's going to get tipped?
Again, it's lots of different moving parts. Sometimes our guys have the stick kind of taken away, so that makes it a little bit easier for me. But you just got to really, essentially, be really patient on it. Because if he doesn't tip it, you got to make that save, and if he does tip it, you obviously got to react from there.
From your vantage point, just a thought on what Leon's been doing, like he's back checking, he's doing the little things that you do in playoffs to win. Just what have you seen out of this game in the playoffs?
It's been a lot of fun to watch. Honestly, it's quite amazing. I believe he's playing some of his best hockey right now, and that's just saying. And obviously, he's a very offensive threat. But I think the way that he has been tracking back, you can see how fast he is on the ice. It's pretty incredible. Like they had almost a 3-on-1 last game, and out of nowhere, Leon comes, grabs a stick, and I'm just cheering him on when he does that. It's pretty amazing, and it's such a huge help, and that does make playoff games, either a win or a loss.
How does it resonate with the rest of the group when Leon's back checking the rears, Connor jumping in front of pucks, blocking shots? These are your two superstars that are doing those little things, and I guess the rest of the group's going to go, okay, we just follow them like this.
Yeah, that's exactly it. I think that's why those guys got letters. they lead by example. They lead in the room, the way they talk, how hungry they are, and they're showing that from how hard they are back checking, willing to block shots. Leo's getting in front of shots. Dave's getting in front of shots. There's a huge block by Dave the last game. They're both back checking so hard. Obviously, they're getting their offensive looks as well, but they're really determined. And when everyone sees that, I think everyone knows that we all got to step up and do the exact same thing. It's a big team game, and being able to get wins it takes every single guy. So it's massive having everyone.
Stu, I know you didn't play in that Colorado series a couple of years ago, but all the talk coming into the series was just how much more ready you guys were for this opportunity than you were a couple of years ago. Do you feel that in game one, getting the win kind of set you up, do you think, for success?
Yeah. Obviously, getting the win is massive. I think you're right. I think we are very prepared. I was somewhat a part of it, but again, I wasn't in the room. I wasn't able to play, but a lot of the guys were. So the experiences that they've had, it's been so good being able to talk about it all. I think after the game 7 against Vancouver, it was a big win there, but I think the talk was that we're not letting go of anything. We're going even faster, going even harder, and I think we showed that last game. But again, to win this next game tonight, we're going to have to take another jump, another step. We have to play even better, even harder than we did last game.
Human nature would sort of dictate that their fear of going down 2-0 might be greater than yours of it being 1-1. How do you sort of battle against that and have equal or more sense of urgency than a team that is kind of up against it?
Yeah, that really is up to them whether they're going to play like that or not. It's we to be honest, we don't really know exactly what's obviously going to happen tonight, but for us, going into the mindset of just like what you said, we got a chance to go 2 up, and they obviously don't want that to happen. So that's what makes playoffs so much fun, is that you're in spots like this, whether they're up 1, we're up 1, they're up 2, we're up 2. You don't win until you win 4 games. So that's what makes all of this so exciting and just so enjoyable to play.
How do you put the goaltending matchup where it's this series, last series? Like, is it a personal challenge for you against the other guy at the other end, or is it you just ignore what he's doing?
I mean, just looking at last game, it was a lot of fun, battling against him. He was making some amazing saves, especially at key times. I was battling for my saves, so it's a very competitive matchup between us two. But again, it's a team game. It's not just going to be Otter or myself to win the series. It's going to be all the guys being able to get those block shots, those small details, all those little things. So personal challenge, of course, but I think that's a personal challenge always. I always want to be at my best no matter who I'm playing. Otter's one of the best goalies in the league, and it's pretty cool that I get to play against him.
It's a goalie union is a small one. How well do you know him? How far do you go back there?
We go back to kind of just draft years. Where we haven't talked like a ton, but I really enjoy whenever we do talk. He seems like just an amazing guy, amazing teammate. He's an incredibly hard worker and very talented goalie. He's done very well for himself, and it's pretty cool. I'm sure we'll get a little bit closer after this round.
Stuart, I know you've talked a lot about how adversity makes you stronger. When you reflect on the last 3 games, how has that been an example of how you really walked your talk?
Yeah, I think that's exactly it. Sometimes it's easy to talk about it, and especially when things are going well. But when things, get a little bit rough and tough, and it really does show you who you truly are. It wasn't easy by any means, but I think being able to battle, being able to fight, and show my strength and show perseverance is huge. Not only myself, but the team as well. The way that they handled it, the way that they handled adversity, being down 2-1, being down 3-2. I mean, we've been doing it all year. We're just showing our strength, showing our perseverance. So just like what you said, you can't just talk about it, you got to do it.
Adam Henrique and his status for tonight.
Adam is a game time decision. He'll be taking warm up, and then we'll decide from there.
Having killer instinct in this game, like they're faced with going down 2-0, so maybe it's a different sense of urgency for them. But is there a way for you to make sure you dictate tonight despite that situation?
I think it's really important that we don't take a step back at all. We know Dallas is going to continue to get stronger throughout the series. We've seen it so far in the playoffs, them falling behind and winning their series. And for us, we can't get distracted or feel comfortable at all, because when you're feeling or playing against a good team, as well as we played last night, it was just good enough to win that game. And for us to take a step back, that won't be good enough. We have to make sure we are playing our best.
Second row left, Derek.
Hey, Chris. We've had the pleasure of watching Leon Draisaitl play for the last however long he's been here, but he looks like he elevates his game at playoff time. And then I just want to ask you about how he does those little things, like not that he wasn't doing it in regular season, but they're noticeable now, the back check and getting in the lanes, blocking shots. Just want to ask you about his elevation of his game at playoff time.
He does everything really well. He's bought in. He wants to win. And I think he's felt that the team has been really close, and he's had unbelievable performances throughout the playoffs, and the team's fallen short. And, he doesn't want to leave anything to chance. You don't get many opportunities with a good team to opportunity to win a Stanley Cup, and he wants to do everything possible to give the team the opportunity to win. And, you saw block shots in the LA series, the Vancouver series, key face-offs. He's doing it all, and he's putting up the points. Obviously, gets recognized, but he's been doing so much more.